Okay, so we're looking at a graph. It says, you're seeing my screen, which parabola represents the equation y equals minus parentheses x minus 3 squared plus 9. So you can obviously go to like Desmos and graph this thing, but there's a couple of shortcuts that I think would also help you here. One is to notice that this is in vertex form. Okay, and the vertex for this problem is 3, 9. The vertex is always the h value and then the k value. So the k value is kind of the one that's always pretty obvious. It's the number on the outside. Okay, that one's usually not too hard. Now the number on the inside, it's like if it's negative, it becomes that number. If it's positive, you have to switch the signs. Okay, so I'm going to look at a few problems like that. This negative out in front, it tells you something very important as well. Do you remember what the negative out in front does?
No, I don't remember.
So it tells you whether it opens up or down. Okay, and if it's positive, it opens up. If it's negative, it opens down. Okay, so not too much there to remember, but a couple of things that you do have to keep in mind when you're looking at this. So let me give you another one here. We'll just write it where you can see here. Let's say it's y equals negative x minus 2 squared plus 3. Could you tell me the vertex of this equation that I've just given you?
-2 and 3.
Okay, so the vertex in the previous problem was positive 3.
Oh, okay. So,
okay, so yeah, and like it's the rule I think is kind of unclear, but you have to decide how you want to remember it. Because there's a negative in the x minus h part, if it's subtracting, it's just that number. Okay, so like here your vertex is 2, 3, and does it open up or down?
It opens down.
Opens down. Very good. Okay, so let's look at another one here. Let's say it's y equals 3x plus 1 squared plus 5. Could you tell me the vertex of this one?
1 and 5.
Okay, but the part inside parentheses here, it's always almost opposite in sign of what's inside here. Like the vertex for this one is -1, 5, whereas the previous one it was 2.
Okay.
So what most students remember, it's like the opposite of what they see. Like if you see a -2, it's 2. If you see a positive 1, it's -1. There is a better explanation, but I mean this is just us learning how to do this. Now, in terms of whether this opens up or down,
it's up.
It's up this time. Okay, so let's try another one here. Let's say it's y equals negative x minus 4 squared plus 6. Could you give me the vertex of this one, please?
4 and 6.
4 and 6. And does it open up or down?
Down.
It opens down. Good. Okay. Now let's look at your question 2. Again, if it were me, I would open up a graphing calculator tool and I would just graph it and see what I saw, see if it looks the same. You may have to change the window slightly, but you can still always figure out whether it's pretty close. So in terms of the vertex here, could you tell me that?
-3 and 6.
-6. Yeah. Does this open up or down?
This opens up.
Okay, so this vertex is the point where it's either a min or a max. So if I go -3 and then down 6, is this point down here, this vertex, is it a min or a max?
It's a min.
It's a min because it opens up. So when it opens up, it always has a min. When it opens down, it always has a max. And that's something you just have to commit to memory, or at least for as long as you're taking this class here. Okay, so let's look at another problem here. Another section here. It says the line of symmetry. Okay, let me do this. Snip this in. So here's a sample problem you were given for your quiz here, or homework assignment thing, workbook. Do you remember anything about the line of symmetry, about what it means?
No, not really.
Okay. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go share. I'm going to new share, and we're going to graph this this equation here. Okay, so I'm going to graph this -2 y equals -2. I'm actually I'm gonna hold off on that for a moment. X -3 squared plus 4. And I'm going to graph that down here. All right, so we're going to do x greater than 3, x less than 3. Okay, and then we're going to graph this line right here. Okay, so if you're seeing my screen, you're seeing this graph here. Okay, here is the right side of the graph, this red line, and now I'm going to graph the left side. Do you see how the graph is almost mirrored over that green line? The right side looks like the left looks like the right.
Yes.
That is the line of symmetry. Now, do you happen to know what do we call that point that's at the top here?
The maximum.
The maximum. What's another name for it? What if it was on the bottom, which is a min? But what's the other name that we call it?
Min.
Okay, I'm looking for something that starts with a V.
Vortex.
Vertex. Perfect. So the vertex, the line of symmetry always goes through the vertex. Line of symmetry always goes through that. So let me just do a snip of this, and then we'll go talk about your question here. So let me go back to the other screen. All right, so you're seeing my screen now. You're seeing the problem plus a graph of it. Yeah, you're seeing that. Okay, so you have to figure out the vertex. Okay, so you can't get away from that. The vertex, can you tell me that from this equation or the graph here, either one?
3 and 4.
3, 4, very good. So the line of symmetry right here, the line of symmetry, it is always x equals the x value of the vertex. So in your problem, it would be x equals 3. That's this green line here, x equals 3. All right, so let me give you another problem here. Kind of think about, or unless you need some time to get this down in your notes.
Yeah, but
You're good? You got it?
yep.
Okay. So let's say I give you an equation like this. Y equals negative x minus 4 squared plus 2. Can you tell me the vertex?
4 and 2.
4, 2. So the line of symmetry, you don't have to write all these words out, but I'm going to do that for making it clear. It's always the x coordinate of the vertex. It's x equals whatever the x coordinate of the vertex is, which is, in this problem, what's the x coordinate?
4.
4. All right, so how about, let's look at another example here. Say y equals 2, x plus 3 squared minus 4. Could you tell me the vertex for this one?
-3 and 4.
Nope.
-4, yeah.
Yes, why is it -4?
Because there's a star sign right in front of it.
Yeah, and it's attached to that. Perfect. Okay. So what would be the line of symmetry, or the axis of symmetry, I guess is, I think that's, they say line. It is also an axis of symmetry, but what would that be in this problem?
-3.
X equals -3. You have to put the whole thing in there,
Okay.
the whole thing. And they're trying to tell you that in the problem, try and show you that. I mean, for this, well, let's go back up there. They're trying to tell you that. They're saying your answer should be like this. They're giving you an example of how to answer it. Because I noticed in maybe it was the other day, it was like the units were left off. So you just have to like focus on that last part and be like, oh yeah, I got to write it like that so that I get the right answer, or that it's marked correctly. Okay, let's try one more here. Let's say it's y equals 5x minus 1 squared plus 1. Could you give me the vertex, please?
1 and 1.
Okay, the vertex is 1 and 1. What is the line of symmetry?
X equals 1.
Perfect. Okay. All right, so you might think, hey, I got it. Let's move on. And then they throw something else at you. So that's what they did here in question 2. So when the equation is in vertex form, like we've been doing, it's very good. This one is not in vertex form. Okay, this one is in what's called standard form. Okay, so there's a couple options here. One is to just go and graph it and figure out where the vertex is. Do you have a Desmos calculator window open?
No.
Could you get one opened and try graphing this, or would that take you too long?
No, I could do it.
All right, let's see if you can get it done here in the next 30 seconds, 1 minute here. You have that vertex for me?
Yes.
What is the ordered pair? And you can just click on the graph and it'll tell you.
5, 6.
5, 6. Okay. All right. Now there's another way to do this. If you want to look back to my screen that I'm sharing. The other way to do it is to recognize that when it's in standard form, you can use formulas to determine the vertex. The x-coordinate of the vertex is minus b over 2a. What is the value of a, b, and c in this quadratic? Can you tell me that?
-2, 20, and -44.
Good. Negative 44. Now, negative b means you negate the b value. So minus 20 over 2 times a, which is minus 2. Negative 20 over negative 4 is positive 5. So you only need the x-coordinate of the vertex. And that's why sometimes when they're a standard form, it's a bit easier to do, because you just need to find the x-coordinate of the vertex. Okay, so that line of symmetry is that x equals 5 value. Okay, so let me give you another one here. Let's go y equals 4x squared minus 12x. Nope, that's not good. Minus 24x plus 36. Could you determine the x coordinate of the vertex using equations? The equation x equals minus b over 2a. Could you try that for me?
Sure. 3, 0.
So just the x coordinate, right? So what is the x value here?
Oh,
I think you just said 3, right?
yeah.
Okay, perfect. Okay, now how you got that is you negated minus 24 over 2 times 4, which is 24 over 8, which is 3, or you went and graphed it. And it doesn't matter to me what you do, but you have to know which option to do for this.
Okay.
Okay, now remind me here, I think you said you get a retake of your exam.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'm looking at that now. I know we did some of the problems yesterday, but here's one like we just did. Actually, let me snip just this part in. This is one of the questions that's now related. Okay, so this question wants you to find the line of symmetry. So I'd like you to try this problem. You can graph it. You can use the formulas. Doesn't matter to me. I'm looking for an equation this time.
Oh, equation.
You have an answer for me?
I think so.
Okay. What did you come up with?
Um. Uh. Negative 2 100, negative 162.
I'm just looking for the line of symmetry, Jeremiah. So the line of symmetry is the x value of the vertex, just the x value of the vertex.
Oh,
So
then
we've done a couple of problems like that. You only have to find the x value of the vertex.
okay, so it's negative 2.
Okay, and how confident are you in your answer?
Pretty confident.
How did you do it? Did you graph or did you use
I
formulas?
graphed.
That's totally acceptable. Okay, let me I'm just going through your quiz again here, testing. Now I know you got this one right. I just want to again emphasize that you can graph most of these, which will help you. So this one right here, it's asking for a bunch of things: the zeros, the vertex, and the shape of the graph. Okay, but this is in what's called factored form over here on the right. You should still graph that. Okay, so since you have that graph in front of you, can you graph it and give me the vertex?
Vertex. Okay. Um, negative 2, negative 162.
No, that's completely wrong. Are you graphing this one here on the right?
Yes, I think so.
Okay,
I may have put it in wrong.
yeah, give that another try. Your answer's so unreasonable, I've got to have you just retry it. you have an answer for me?
5, 4.
Okay, that's reasonable. What is the line of symmetry?
5.
It's an equation. Give it to me as an equation. So like, what did we do in this problem and then this problem? How did we write it out?
Oh, x equals 5.
X equals 5. Yeah. Very good. Okay. So I grabbed a test, another test question here. I mean, you obviously have the answer now, but let me try to explain one option here. When it says to, when it's looking for something that's equivalent, you can graph this one, and then you can graph these, and one of them will match perfectly. That's what you're looking for. So you really want to leverage that graphing tool as you're working through this. Yes, you could complete the square. We did a lesson on that, but you can also just use the graphs to figure out which one is correct here. All right, so here is all right, so like here's another example of how you want to probably use the graph. So here again, here's the problem. It says solve this quadratic equation by completing the square, but the computer has no idea if you've been completing the square. Okay, and you will see this again in another class, but you'll have time to relearn it if you want. When a graph is asking for a solution or to solve it, what it's looking for is where the graph hits the x-axis, or if it opens up again, where it hits the x-axis. So I want you to graph this right here and tell me where it hits the x-axis.
Negative 1.5. I mean, x equals negative 1.5.
Try again. You're graphing x squared plus 3x minus 10. There should be two answers.
Oh.
And neither of them are decimals.
Okay. So negative 5 and 2.
Yes. Okay, so while you could use completing the square, the question is just asking for you to figure out where it hits the x-axis. Okay. All right, so here's kind of a related problem. So this problem right here, can be solved by graphing. Okay, and the way you would solve it by graphing is you would actually first move this number to the other side of the equation, and you would do that by subtracting. Okay, so now you can graph this left side, and I'd like you to do that and figure out again where it hits the x-axis.
Okay.
Let me know when you get your
Negative
answer.
4 and 20.
Perfect. Yeah. So really, like the takeaway from today's lesson is you really got to be comfortable using that graphing tool, because you're going to have a number of questions where you can answer it by just graphing the given thing. So let's look at one more here. I'll have you graph this again. So it says, what are the coordinates of the vertex of the parabola? So again, you could use, some of the things we talked about today, but you can also just go and graph it. And by graphing it, you'll start to notice things about it. All right. So could you graph this one and tell me what you come up with for the vertex? What did you come up with, Jeremiah?
All I came up was -2 and 8.
There's not an 8.
Okay,
Did you graph 2 parentheses x plus 2 squared and nothing more?
yeah, exactly.
Okay,
And
let me go graph it on my side. Okay, so let me new share. This will close us out for today. Man, you can put a y in front if you need to, but I see it right there at -2, 0. Since there's something not quite right about what you entered. Can't see, can't tell. But that's okay. Please use that graphing tool. Please retake the test when you feel like you're ready. I think you're ready. You'll definitely improve your grade and make dad happy, and also make yourself happy because you'll be moving through this course and you're almost done. So we'll probably do a lesson next week. I'll talk to dad, see if you guys want to do it, but hope you have a great weekend, and thanks for letting me help you. I'll see you next time.
see you next time, Matt.
Okay, bye.
Bye.